It's very apparent that cavalry plays a massive role in Attila. Cavalry is a lot stronger, it's cheaper, you can get units like the Savern cataphracts that are cost in the 500s and can absolutely wreck elite infantry if you don't use the elite infantry correctly. So I've set up a sword line here up against my very cheap Savern cataphracts. These are by no means the best units in the game. They are only medium shock. They are sort of mid-tier shock cavalry. What I'll do is I'll charge them in against swords that are in Herculianis Seniores, the best sword infantry for the Western Roman Empire, and the Cornuti Seniores, the best spear infantry for the Western Roman Empire. This formation is going to increase mass and bracing. This formation is going to increase bracing and give them a bonus against cavalry. Most spears also now have expert charge defense, so that's actually going to deflect damage back to the charging cataphracts. So the cataphracts are doing a lot of damage to the swords on the charge, but against the spears they're actually impaling themselves and not able to penetrate the formation nearly as well as against the swords. So here I lost a fuck ton of cavalry, killed only 19 spear units, but against the swords I killed 36 swords on the first charge. Then I'm going to turn around, and the Roman units are positioning themselves in a defensive position. This is also going to increase bonus versus bracing, so expert charge defense here being used to devastating effect against the cataphracts. The cataphracts might just rout now while they are absolutely destroying the Herculianes Seniores. So sword infantry, even in a defensive position, is going to get wrecked by much cheaper cavalry, while braced spears are going to absolutely wreck cavalry. Here we go with a charge against only braced spears. The braced spears take a lot more damage than when using the defensive ability. Swords come out much worse than spears. Spears still get to use expert charge defense when they are braced. But the interesting thing is going to be looking at what happens if enemy cavalry manages to catch you on the move. Now these two units are not going to be braced. They're going to counter-attack cavalry. The Levy Freeman strategy of Rome 2. Look at what happens to the Herculianes Seniores when they get attacked on the move. Half the unit down on the charge. That is one charge. The Cornuti Seniores, they do a bit better. Oh well, not really. They are also getting absolutely destroyed by one charge. So one charge from shock cavalry. The shock cavalry is absolutely fine. Doesn't matter whether it's against spears or swords. The moving infantry just get mowed down in 2 charges and the unit is gone. These are elite infantry units against mid-tier shock cavalry units. Imagine if this shock cavalry unit was very heavy and would do extra impact damage as well. So learning how to counter cavalry is going to be massive in Attila. You can't just spam swords, give attack orders. True, some melee units have very good missiles that they can use to devastating effect against these cataphracts. The problem is that when you're using missiles, you're not going to be able to brace. So having multiple lines of infantry can work, but your lines are going to be devastated by shock cavalry if you don't brace. For swords, the defensive ability is going to help them a bit, but most spears that have expert charge defense are going to benefit greatly from their defensive ability. It's going to increase their capabilities against cavalry further. Now they will still take a fuck ton of casualties. So stopping cavalry with cavalry seems to be really important, and using units to block cavalry charges. Ideally having multiple lines of infantry that can throw javelins, but if you go chasing after cavalry with infantry and if you get caught on the move, your spears and your swords are going to be get absolutely wrecked. Even against mid-tier shock cavalry, even against mid-tier melee cavalry. So this is a change of pace from Rome 2, a nice change of pace, I'd say. Learning to use cavalry is something, and learning to counter cavalry is something that's going to be massively important on the battlefields of Attila. strength and honor.